to welcome our mayor, the mayor of Zamboanga City, my colleague in the previous congresses, and she has led Zamboanga for 3 consecutive terms, prime mover for RoSa, Mayor Beng Climaco. And we have with us, we're very proud, one of the most powerful chairmen in the House of Representatives, that is the chairman of the Committee of Ways and Means, and he is our national convener for the RoSa. Welcome, Congressman Chairman Joey Salceda. And then I welcome all our volunteers, all the women who are responsible for having this celebration and being able to recognize that women and mothers are the pillars and strength of every Filipino family. Welcome and all our guests, and also now I would like to thank the presence of both the Cagayan de Oro media and the national media. So thank you very much. We will be able to answer your questions as we go along in this press con. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Congressman Rufus Rodriguez. Now we go to the only lady, as I've said, no, from our speakers, but very powerful. Her presence really speaks for the theme of this activity. Buenos tardes, Mayor Beng Climaco from Zamboanga City. Round of applause po.
Buenas tardes. Paz de Dios y abrazo de Nuestra Señora la Virgen del Pilar en San Jose. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. En calor de gobierno local de Ciudad de Zamboanga, junto con todas las mujeres, feliz mes de todas las mujeres. Mabuhay po mga kababaihan, at kami po nagpapasalamat sa Panginoon at nabigyan po kami ng pagkakataon upang tumugon sa ating bansa dahil sa pagmamahal natin. And March, being the International Month for Women, represents the struggle of Filipino women to be able to vote and be voted upon. My grandmother, Isabel Cortez Climaco, championed the right of Filipino women to vote and be voted upon in 1937. She was a suffragist. And when I was given that opportunity to be part of the team with Cong Rufus way back in our first term in Congress, in our second term, I had the opportunity to be one of the principal authors of the Magna Carta of Women that gives women an opportunity in whatever fields we can. Today, we thank Cong Joey Salceda and the conveners of RoSa that I come here with our team from Zamboanga City to be able to share with you our journey amidst the tempestuosity. Ang rally ng Zamboanga is ang rally na tinatawag namin layag. Lalayag po tayo bagamat napakahirap. At kasama po ang aming apo na si Tatiana Mendoza. Nandun po siya sa likod. She is 18 years old. For her birthday in July, ang kanyang ninais ay makapagrehistro at bumoto. At napakalawak ng ating tinatanaw para sa May 2022. Pero alang-alang po sa aking apo at alang-alang sa lahat ng kababaihan ng Pilipinas, kailangan natin tumugon. Bakit si Lenny? Sapagkat si Lenny ay may kakayahan katulad ni Mayor Inday. Both of them are indeed mothers, empowered women, daughters, and are Filipinas who have made a difference in the different fields that they are. Primarily, VP Lenny has really supported us from the very beginning, very hardworking amidst all of the challenges. Alam niyo po ba, the Cambridge Dictionary word for 2021 is perseverance. Perseverance is translated as a word of an undaunted spirit to be able to withstand all of the challenges despite of the difficulties. And for me, that is what Lenny Robredo is. Likewise, in Mindanao, I'm very honored to be a friend, a big ate to Mayor Inday Sara Zimmerman Duterte Carpio. As a daughter of President Duterte, the first Mindanaoan president, and as a mother of Davao to her children, we both share the same spirit of motherhood, the loss of a baby, but despite of all of the challenge, we pursue to make our local government units respond to the pandemic. Katulad ni Lenny at si Sarah, sila po'y tumugon, hindi lang sa kanilang mga lungsod, not only on their spears, pero tumulong po sila sa oras ng pandemic. Nagbigay ng mga programa ng Angat Buhay at nagbigay din ng tulong personally sa lungsod ng Zamboanga. Si VP Lenny had what we call our programs for the teleconsult sa ating mga COVID pandemic, nagbigay ng PPEs at also provided COVID care kits. Si Mayor Inday naman from Baguio, from the very first month of COVID-19, tumulong po siya para sa newborn screening ng mga babies. Sabi ustedes, el mga niño, the babies are very important. As a mother who lost my child in 2011, I thought I would lose my life. But like all of us here, I always believed in Kairos, Qadar in Islam, God's perfect timing. Nothing happens without God's reason. That is why I'm very blessed to have two of my distinguished fellow Filipinos na tutugon kasama po ninyo to make her story happen. VP Lenny for President and Mayor Inday Sara Duterte, Mio Vice Presidente. Buenas tardes a todos.
Gracias, Mayor Ben. And now we proceed to, of course, our lead convener and spokesperson of Robredo Sara Movement, our very own Albay 2nd District Representative, Kong Joey Salceda. Marahay na hapon, sir.
Marunong ka?
I did my research, sir.
Good afternoon to everyone. If I had my way, I would have made that the presidency stay in Mindanao. So I really thought that Sara should run for president because that is to correct the historical wrongs where Mindanao accounts for 23% of population but accounts for only 16%. So not because Lenny is second best, but because Bicol is also one of the most neglected parts of this country. There's no way for this country to rise until its least attended to people will also rise. And that is why I am now here to fight for Lenny for president and Sara for vice president. Because they're good for the country, good for the economy, good for the provincias, and good for Mindanao.
Thank you very much, Kong Joey Salceda.
Let me read from my prepared speech. I thank the political leaders of Mindanao for this opportunity today. My friend Congressman Rufus Rodriguez is a stalwart of my committee, and I was really not grateful, but rather I was greatly motivated when he endorsed the Robredo Duterte ticket. Mayor Oscar Moreno, who is not here but has also endorsed the BB. These men do not always see eye to eye, but they have one common pick for president. Cagayan de Oro, in other words, can be the home turf for the RoSa tandem if we work hard enough to make our efforts count. I was also invited today by Zamboanga City, where Mayor Ben Climaco is also rooting for VP Lenny, as well as Inday Sara for Vice President. The 2016 elections were a tectonic shift in electoral politics of the Philippines. Suddenly, our political fulcrum was no longer centered in the Katalugan. It has shifted towards a more nationally inclusive orientation. The country elected its first Mindanaoan president and its first Bicolano vice president. Never has the country seen such realignment in politics. It was tinud-anay nga kausaban, tunay na pagbabago in President Duterte's words. Although President Duterte and Vice President Robredo did not always agree with each other, we saw them perform feats in their respective offices. President Duterte will be remembered for a true golden age of infrastructure and an unyielding commitment to fiscal and economic reforms. I was just lucky to have had his government's confidence together with Rufus as his principal author in Congress of his favorite reforms. Vice President Robredo has transformed the office of the Vice President into a platform for voluntarism, patriotic corporate citizenship, and participation in governance, unlike anything we have seen in any other national office. Before we forget, President Duterte and soon Vice President Duterte, were not only the country's choice, they were also Mindanao's choice. Both the President and the Vice President won Mindanao. It gave Lenny Robredo a buffer of 548,940 votes, more than double her eventual winning margin. Recently, President Duterte suggested that the people choose a compassionate lawyer to lead the country. I have two women in mind who qualify, Attorney Robredo and Attorney Sara Duterte. Of course, it's also well known that Mayor Sara and I are good friends beyond politics. We became friends in 2013 in the Regional Development or the RDCOM of NEDA, when she became the youngest RDC chair in the country. While I was RDC chair for Bicol for 9 years as Governor of Albay, President Duterte will be proud to hear some words some people say that good as he was as a mayor, the doctor was even better, better for business, better for jobs, better for agriculture, and better for socio-economic development. I fervently hope that she would lead the country, and in time, I hope she will. For now, our job as her friends and supporters is to make sure that the country gets a chance to experience her brand of service in Davao City. As for the presidential ticket, I'm not here to argue against any presidential candidate. The negatives of one candidate do not mean you should vote for another. They should be able to stand on their own merits. The candidate inspires confidence in the future of this country is VP Lenny Robredo. She knows her economics and she knows her law. She knows her governance too and practiced it. Above all, like Mayor Sara, she listens. Both are obsessed with results. I respect the opinions of others who are different candidates. I will not argue against them, but I will argue for certain candidates as an economist, as a legislator, and someone who has recently turned a senior citizen who wants to leave a better country for the next generation. If you want a good economy, vote for Robredo Sara. I thank both candidates for the confidence they have in my advice. Please allow me to make a few requests to them today. You see that Bicol and Mindanao have much more in common than what separates us, which is only distance and language. I asked RoSa to complete the BNR line to Bicol and the Mindanao Railway. These two lines will change the game for our people, especially our farmers in Bicol as in Mindanao. I asked RoSa to wage war against poverty, as Bicol and Mindanao both continue to have more people in poverty than the national average. We have managed to create pockets of prosperity, just as BP Lenny's Naga City in my own province of Albay too, and Sara Duterte's Davao City. But we need to do more. By ending poverty in these regions, we will exhaust the oxygen for armed struggle in both Bicol and Mindanao. The path to peace is paved with prosperity. I asked RoSa to develop our agriculture in Mindanao and in Bicol, and in the rest of the countryside. Bicol has seen its abaca growing sector decimated in the past. Its coconut industry has declined. Mindanao's bananas are under threat of disease, and its corn has extremely limited markets. These are crops where the country was globally competitive in the past. Through decades of neglect and failure to innovate, we have lost our edge in these areas. These are cash crops, bound for export. If we're going to earn our dollars and leave farmers out of poverty, we need renewed commitment to developing these sectors. I have seen Mayor Sara build Davao City's cacao industry through innovation and investments. That is the model for the future of agriculture in this country. I asked RoSa to develop our fisheries and protect our fishermen. Mindanao is the country's top fish supplier. Bicol has more coastline than any other region in mainland Luzon. Fish is life for our regions. And yet, there are more workers in the fishing sector that are poor than in any other sector in the country. BP Lenny has done more for the fisher folks than any other vice president has done in office. Our platform for a blue economy, where fisheries are given strong emphasis, will help lift our fisher folk out of poverty. I am confident that the Robredo-Sara tandem will inspire the confidence of the business and investor community. Much of my adult life before politics was spent in the stock market and investment banking, especially in Swiss bank. All colleagues and contacts tell me that they believe that BP Robredo is the best pick among our candidates for president. Among the vice presidential candidates, only one has real experience running an economy. Mayor Sara was the youngest chair of the Regional Development Council during our time.